Gropaz is complaining that they will actually win with the because of course they will. They were the winners of the Amiga account. Anyway,
They said they were.
rgballz by Kamila. You pronounce that. that's an S, a S, and a E next to each other. So that's a nope. Very nice. Yes, that's a 1K elf for Linux L64. And I apologize for not being able to pronounce your name, but I'm learning Finnish.
The 3D coming soon is entry number 2 by docravendark and Stella. Hacked together in 3 hours on the best body on the planet. Oh, yeah.
Second demo ever, but who's counting right? Next time in 3D. I'm still thinking that this is a different Stellar than the Amiga Stellar. And there you go. 3D coming soon.
Yeah. Third demo, maybe?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Nighttime Lake by Kamila.
That's an S, a Z, and a W all next to each, or a WC, a Z, Y, K next to each other. So that's a nope.
Yeah, we apologize, but we just don't know how to pronounce that. We are very sorry. This is another 1K WebGL this time.
The joke about the letters next to a name is a joke.
That was nice. I liked that.
Oh, it goes for 3 hours from start to end. Interesting. Okay, I probably will not run the anyway. Vitrage by Altiga. And for next year, we need to learn how to pronounce that.
We do. Vitrage by Altiga there. Appreciated in the hall, very much so.
Yes. We have learned that the word, yes, RASTERIZE by Theron. Proof of concept for a new framework.
Mesh generation, triangles pipeline, shadow maps, deferred shading, volumetric lights, and a synth with physical modeling in modal representation. But objects and music all written at the party, as is the correct way to do things. In a mad panic at 3 a.m.
Yes, yes. And apparently it's a shoemaker. Well, I can't wait for that to get, for that to move beyond proof of concept, because that was pretty effing good.
Yeah, possibly a bit of an encoder killer, though. Half-bit cheese, 0024, Incendium, HP half-bit cheese and brainless coders.
Visuals and music done with web GPU compute shaders. HTML, JavaScript, and web GPU. when DOS fire things were,
Yeah, all the
like,
rage.
it's just
Very, very nice.
dipping. No, not dripping, like I said. Go ahead.
Dipping Deep Dub Drop by Pestis and Chlumpie.
Delivering you the smokings for the competition in digital form with loads of colors and base.
We had smoke in that last one.
Apologies and massive kudos to Garguy for he had to fix our bugs. I'm sure that did not come through the stream nearly as well as it looked on the screen.
I do like me a good fractal zoomer. Do you remember when they were all the rage on Amiga back in the day?
That was so. That Planet X by Friol. Hi to all the people that still keep the Italian demo to you seen alive. You rule, and that would include Master Boot Record.
Yeah, that was the second Italian demo we have, and you were saying it was good that it was starting up again.
Tenacity by the Latitude Independent Association, made in a rush with love and tenacity. Also a deadline anxiety.
As ever.
And this is from South America. Speaking of, folks that have been going a long time. And We're just seeing some really nice 4Ks.
Yeah, all 4Ks, we do remind everybody.
Yeah, 4 kilobytes or less.
That was reminded me of the actual revision logo that of it at the end. AXEL, he had one job, say Nuance. A compelling story about the early signs of life, death, and failure. Cheerful subject.
Yeah.
Now that reminded me of when I played Control. There's some similarly weird organic stuff in that. But yes, I wonder what the job was.
Yeah. Vestige or vestige by writer of erpholia. When did writer? Well, I guess writer has created his own group now.
Yep.
I loved everything about that.
By the way, there may be a short delay while we rebuild the encoder box, which is now a smoking ruin in the corner. But that was interesting.
I will say it's doing quite fine thanks to my tweaks. Thank you.
All right.
Excellent.
I'm making conversations here. Entry number 12 is Mycosphere Rising by NuSan. Speaking of other moon-based people.
Yes. Shout outs to Cookie and Moonbase, folks. Special events for Observer for snare cyclic noise code, and to my sister for helping me find the name.
Mycosphere Rising by NuSan there, one of our Shader Showdown contestants.
I find it fascinating that we've kind of had this, Hexer by LJ.
Yep.
Found in an old film roll in his attic.
Fresh from winning a Meteoric.
Yes.
Will he win with this one? Well, I nearly shat myself.
10 years ago, LJ was sitting in the new comer section.
No, he's won umpteen. Now, since then, he's won umpteen Compos, umpteen Meteorics, and so on. And still going. Chromatophores by Loonies.
This Compo.
Wow.
So many different types of things in this Compo. I mean, just...
Now, I would have liked to have seen that gone up against Empires last year, actually. Oh, that was powerful.
That seems to me to be very inspired by that, but very different.
Last year's Empires by Conspiracy, which won the 64K combo, not the 4K one.
Just